Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Kyle. So this is the scratch game, simple scratch game. So let me press the green flag. This is how it looks. You play it that way. You have a pedal moving left and right and a ball that is bouncing with speeds and a score. So this is the game we are going to create. Don't forget to subscribe and like and also share. So let's start. Let's first delete the cat or the sprite cat. Then we are going to get two sprites or characters that we'll use in the game. We'll have a pedal, that one, then let's move it down there. Then the other one will be a ball. We'll have a ball. Then the last one, the backdrop, you can use any, but let me use neon. Neon tunnel looks better. For the ball, though we'll do it, you can change the size to 50. Then pedal, let's look at the pedal. We go to costume, then press this minus to minimize it. Then let's enlarge it a bit in costume, just a bit like that. Let's start coding now. So we are going to code that pedal to move left and right is the first thing we are going to be doing. Now, before we do that, there are some variables we'll use. The first variable will be, we are going to use a variable called speed in our game. Then we'll also have another variable called score, because we want our game to have some score. So we'll have speed and score. I've gone to variable and made those two variable in Scratch. Then for the pedal, let's code it so that it can move left and right. So the first one will be in events when green flag is clicked. That one, when green flag is clicked. Then the second one will be in variable. We will set a score to 0. So anytime you start your game, your score will always be at 0. Then you go to control, you pick forever. Control, you pick forever. Then inside forever, we'll have two if then. 1, 2. Remember, if then is a condition. If this happens, then that happens. If I slap you, then cry. So you can't cry if you are not slapped. So it's a conditional block. So we go to sensing. In sensing, pick a space pressed. Then change the variable space to right arrow. Again, you pick a space, put in the second one, and you put it to left arrow. These are the arrow keys of your keyboard to enable this to move left, to move right and left down there. So that is what we want to do. So the second one is motion. You go to motion and pick change X. Up here, the right one will be change X by 10. The left one will be change X by minus 10. So minus 10, like that. So let's test. There. It's able to move left and right. That is the first thing. It's able to move left and right. So good. The second one, we are going to work on the backdrop before we go to the ball, because the ball will be the last one. So you click up here where it's written backdrops. You click the backdrop here. After you click the backdrop, first we'll go to here, up here written backdrops. Then let's delete the first one. Then we are going to right click and duplicate this backdrop here. Then we'll have this neon tunnel as the first one. Then the second one will be neon tunnel. We delete it and call it game over. Game over. Then we are going to click the T for text. Let me change the color to red, or red like that. Then I'm going to click inside there and write the word game over. So when the game ends, that is what will appear as game over. Now we have neon tunnel and game over. We are going to go to code. Remember, we click the backdrop here. So we are going to do it when green flag is clicked as the first one. This is for the backdrop. Remember, we are in the backdrop. This one, we clicked the backdrop there. Then control we'll also use forever, but before we are able to put the forever one, we are going to just switch backdrop with this one. So in looks, we switch backdrop to neon. So when you press the green flag, it's always the neon one. That is it for the backdrop. Let's go to the ball so that we can put the codes for the ball. First of all, we want the ball to bounce, bounce, bounce. When it hits here, it bounces, you get a score, bounce, bounce, bounce. But when it misses, you miss it and it hits here, it will say game over and everything will stop. So let's code it so that it's able to do exactly just that. So the first one will be when green flag is clicked in events. That one, when green flag is clicked in events. Then the second one, we are going to set the speed. We are going to go to variable, then set my variable, change my variable to speed. So we are going to set speed to 6. Let's start with 6. Set speed to 6 as the first thing. Then we are going to enable this ball to always be up there when you start your game. So we are going to motion and picking, go to X and Y. So X will be 0, but Y will be 170. So that the ball will always start it's up there like that. The ball will always start up there. The next one is we are going to pick forever, so that we have the blocks of what we want to, for it to repeat it continuously. What do you want to repeat continuously? We are going to enable the ball to move around. So in motion, we are going to move, but we're not moving 10 steps because we want the ball to increase its speed with the speed. So we are going to variable and picking the word speed. So we want the ball to move as fast as the speed is saying. So we will move the ball by the speed. Then we also need a block to ensure that when it hits the edge, so it's in motion, if on edge bounce, so that when it hits these edges, it's able to bounce. So if on edge bounce. Now we need two if then, one for the directions of the ball and the score, another one to say game over. Those are conditional block. We need two conditional blocks. So go in control, pick if then, and another if then there like that. So the first if then, what condition will be there? So if it touches, so go to sensing, if it, the first one, if it touches the pedal down here, it's supposed to bounce. So before it bounces, what do you need to happen? When it touches the pedal, then you increase your score. So go to variable and pick change score by 1. When it hits here, you change the score by 1. Another thing you need to happen is that you need it to bounce when it hits the pedal to bounce. So we are going to go to motion and pick point direction. You can put anywhere down here or up here, either way it will work. So point in direction, not 90, but you are going to point in direction. Go to operators and pick the one with minus. That one, put it there. Point in direction 180. We're going to use 180. 180 minus direction. So go to motion and pick direction there. 180 minus direction. So let's see so far what it's doing. Good, it's able to bounce, though the speed is low. Let's see if it will bounce when it hits our pedal. There, it's able to bounce, the speed will increase. So let's stop. So when it hits our pedal, it's able to bounce and you get a score of 1 because it hits 1, the score is 1. When I press the green flag, the score goes to 0, so that is working so far. So the next thing we are going to work on how to stop the game. First of all, how to stop the game. The other if then will be of how to stop the game. So we are going to do if is less, we are going to use the operators. Go to operators and pick less than 50. This one to 10 less than 50. So the idea is that if y position, remember y position is up and down, up and down. So if the ball goes below here, so it means it has missed this one. So if it goes below here, which is almost like negative 170. So we'll use 160 to means you have negative. If the ball or the y position, so in motion, if y position, if y position means it is there, is less than let's use a negative 169, is less than negative 165. Let's use 165. As you can see now, it's reading 169 and it's already there, it missed it, so we'll use negative 165. If y position is less than negative 165, then we are going to switch backdrop. So go to looks, we switch backdrop to game over, the one we had created to say game over. Then you go to control and pick stop all, then we stop everything to start. So let's see if that works. Let's miss, we are going to miss it, so that we see if it will say game over, and stop everything. There, it can say game over and stop everything. So far that works. The only thing remaining now is to ensure that the ball goes with the speed is not moving. So that is the last thing we are going to work with on the speed. So first of all, we are going to change the speed. So the first thing we are going to do is we'll create the variable for the speed. So when green flag is clicked, these are the codes for the speed. Control forever. When green flag is clicked, forever. Then we are going to change speed in variable, change speed by 1. That is the first thing. We are going to change speed by 1. Then we are going to wait some seconds before you change speed again by 1. Let's put 4 seconds. You can put as much as you want to play the game. So we press that, and as you can see, the speed is increasing. It's at 7 right now, it's at 8. So the more you play, the more the speed will be increasing. Now it's at 9 and I have a score of 1. So after every 4 seconds, the speed will be increasing by 1 to make the game a bit difficult and play it. So the more you play it, the more it increases its speed to make it a bit more difficult. So that is the game, and I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. So see you in the next game.